Hi. I wanted to do a quick video because I know that a lot of people are kind of struggling right now and they are looking for a way to connect and honestly just feel better. And I think a lot of the anxiety and worry that's coming up for people has a lot to do with being isolated. So the idea of us being kind of stuck at home or needing to stay away from people or not being able to do what we normally do can bring up a lot of issues. And then there's just a lot of fear in the air. Even if you are not part of a population that might be immune compromised or particularly vulnerable, it's likely that you know someone who is. And it's likely that they're going through a lot of fear. So I think what it kind of comes down to when it comes to caring for ourselves and taking care of each other right now is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and getting really comfortable sitting in stillness. So when the idea of having to be like quarantined or having to take time off or be stuck at home comes up, it can make a lot of people kind of shifty, a little bit squirrely, a little bit nervous, which is totally normal. And it's also something, we're seeing a lot of reactions that we typically see with people when they struggle with things like meditation and self-care. And so what I think is coming up for a lot of people is fear of death, so facing their own mortality, no matter what age they are. And then also the fear of sitting alone in stillness. So when we have to be at home or we're choosing to say, be socially distant in order to take care of ourselves and in effect take care of our loved ones as well and kind of bring that that curve down, making sure that we don't overwhelm the system. We're looking at having lots of extra time on our hands, having lots of rest time, having lots of downtime, having lots of quiet time in the house. And I think for a lot of people that brings up fear of being still, fear of being alone with themselves. So when we are in a state of fear and we're worried about our own mortality or the mortality of others, and we now are having to kind of remove ourselves and have more downtime and quiet time, that whole resistance to what comes up in those quiet periods becomes really dominant. So a lot of people, when they have trouble meditating and being quiet and sitting in stillness with themselves, they're afraid of what's going to come up. Like, I just can't slow down. I'm always go. I need to be always on the move. And it's when we are forced to slow down or we're forced to rest that a lot of the things that we've been avoiding internally have a chance to come up. And I say a chance to come up because it's important that they do. So for a society that glorifies being busy all the time and being booked up and being on the go, I think a lot of the fear and anxiety that's coming up for people is coming up because we are going to be forced to stop doing that. We're going to be forced to slow down. And it's knowing what to do and how to take care of ourselves in that time of slowing down that's going to make all of the difference. So when we're allowed to be go and busy and distracting and numbing ourselves constantly, it's really easy to push down fear. It's really easy to run from it and hide it and mask it in busyness and keeping the mind busy. But when we take away all those activities and we're down and we're home and it's time to be quiet and it's time to rest and it's time to be able to sit in stillness, all of the mental things that we hide from and the thoughts and fears tend to rear their heads. And so there are ways to make this time more comfortable for yourself. We're going to be offering virtual programs every week. So I'll be offering a virtual drop-in session with breathing exercises and meditations and mindfulness discussions so that we can talk about what's coming up for people. A lot of that fear and the anxiety can manifest itself physically, and we can become afraid that we're getting ill because we're having physical symptoms that might just be from anxiety and or possibly allergies. It's pollen season like crazy right now. But when we can eliminate the anxiety and the fear, it makes it a lot easier to tell where it's coming from or what's really there. Not to mention that the elimination of fear and anxiety will decrease the cortisol inflammation in our body so that we can have all the rest of our amazing resources left to boost our immune systems and fight off anything else that we might need to. So it's normal to feel fear and panic and anxiety. There's also so many resources and tools that we have that you can use at home every day to be able to combat that. So there's no reason right now anybody has to feel fearful or worried about being at home or what are they going to do. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And as much as people might not want to hear this, or maybe you do. It's a great time to focus on you and focus on your health and your self-care and your well-being and all the things that maybe you pushed off and said in the past that you don't have time for. Now is the time. And those exact tools and those exact activities are the ones that are going to make the next few months smooth or bumpy. You know, it's your choice. But there's plenty of things that you can do to eliminate the fear and anxiety. And maybe it's a really good time to tackle that inner work. You know, pay attention to the fears that come up. They've always been inside of you. And so now's a really good time to work through them in a really healthy way. And it can be done easily and efficiently and fluidly. So we're here to support you. If you are feeling anxious and you are feeling fearful and you need some help, don't hesitate to reach out. And like I said, I'm going to be implementing things virtually constantly. So jump onto a meditation in the coming weeks, jump onto a discussion, ask questions. It's okay. It's okay. And the fears that come up are things that all of us are going to have to face at one time or another. And we're just so happens that many of us are facing the same thing at the same time. So be here for each other. I'm here for you. The collective is here for you. We have tools to help with this. So don't hesitate to use us for that. In addition, if you have elderly neighbors or family members or anything like that, and they need some help and they need, you know, groceries picked up or anything of the sort, reach out to them, you know, and if they need help and there's anything that we can do, let us know. No one should have to go without because they're afraid to be out and about right now. So use this as a time for growth. It's coming anyway. Let's support each other. And again, like, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here for you. And there's so many things you could do to make this time easier.